My 15-year-old son got his long-distance girlfriend pregnant on purpose so we'd move to her town, but when I demanded a DNA test her parents blocked me and she started posting about deadbeat dads. Then I found out her ultrasound shows she was already 19 weeks pregnant when my son saw her and the dates don't match up at all. Posted by you/no_pool_7823. Throwaway for obvious reasons. I, 30F, have a child who is 15M, we'll call him Ollie, plus other children aged 2, 6, 9 and 11. As you can tell by my own age I was a teen parent. I was lucky and we married at 18, still married, healthy relationship, worked our way out of a very dire situation, graduated, started a trade etc., and we are comfortable, stable in all ways. This information is relevant. Ollie has been friends with this girl, we'll call her Bree, since he was 7 years old. Their family used to live in the same city as us and went to the same school, same friendship group. We know her parents and are long-distance friends ourselves, not close friends but say hello when the kids are on video chat, had drinks together before. Bree's family moved to a very small town 3 states away due to rental affordability, no secret, we all have talked about the rising costs of everyday life. The cost of living in this city has risen, forcing many locals out. They moved because of that and for better job opportunities 18 months ago. Since then, Ollie has been begging for us to follow. Giving us a sales pitch on cheaper housing, better paying jobs, none of which fit either of our professions, the whole works. We have said no because, well, no. But even if we wanted to, our other children are in school, sports and have friends here. Selling and buying another house, finding work outside of our skill set or having to learn new skills, any normal adult would understand this. He does not. Well, fast forward to Christmas. Bree's family come back to our city for a holiday and the kids met up multiple times with each other. It was my understanding that they were always with the other kids, but obviously not since Bree is pregnant and I am certain it was on purpose. He has access to protection, I don't care for opinions on that, my access was restricted and I had him. He has had intimacy education from me, my husband, school. He knows how babies are made and how not to have one. Ollie now wants me to move to be with her and the baby, it's confirmed, I've talked to her parents, and I said no. I don't feel I need a reason, but he asked. You're 15. We don't have any proof it's your child yet. I'm not moving us away from our lives and you aren't going alone until you're 18. We will do a DNA test, then we will look at parenting plans, and topped it off with a too bad, too sad. You made your bed, now you have to sleep in it. He took that back to Bree and now all communication between me and her parents has been cut. I'm a terrible person. My comments about the DNA test are disgusting and it's fueling my son's hate for me. He says I am keeping him from the love of his life and future baby, using my own successful relationship as proof it will work out. I actually don't even know if I am right or not. I'm just really upset and feel like my life I worked really hard for has been destroyed. Update 1, same day. To answer some questions. She is due September around the 22nd. So no, there is no option for termination. I don't think that or adoption ever was. Ollie admitted it was on purpose last night. Apparently, it was Bree's idea first, as a joke, that turned into a plan together. Bree's parents will only pass messages through my son and I have heard this for myself. I stood outside the door and listened to them tell him, tell your mother insert info below, because I know I will just go off on her about that nonsense. They are talking badly about me with my kid. They are appalled I would think that way of Bree when I have known her for more than half her life and do not wish to talk to me. I will not allow him to move out there alone. There are some past issues such as Bree breaking up with him twice in the last 18 months because she found someone that she liked more in her new town, around August and October last year, same boy, and when it ended, she came back to Ollie. Bree is a nice girl, but her behavior is toxic and has been since a child. Her mother and stepfather are nice, but the relationship is unstable. The house is chaos, 9 children combined, blended family and 2 to 3 teens with serious mental health struggles. He would be leaving stability for chaos and no structure. I want a DNA test. I will not budge on that. I'm close to cutting his contact totally at this point because they are only empowering him and reinforcing his behavior towards me and his father. His father is a man of few words. Which is unhelpful. So far he's backed everything I have said and only really chosen to say, you have the intelligence of a pair. Update 2, 1 month later. Things have gone south even further. At this point, husband and I have been blocked on all social media and numbers blocked, but the communication with Ollie has continued. Ollie gave us Bree's parents' email address to send an email to, but before using that I asked him to video chat Bree with me there, and then I could ask Bree to please get her parents so I can talk to them about this and tell her that if they were going to continue to refuse, then I would be blocking all contact to Ollie and communication until this is resolved. I told Ollie this before the call. At first he flipped out about it, but it was this or I cut communication completely. I do think he understood that it is not okay that her parents are speaking to me through minors, and he said himself he would like us to talk to each other. Bree joined the call and hung up when she saw I too was there. Ali called back a few times and she didn't answer. She asked via text why I wanted to talk to her, and Ali told her that I wanted to speak to her mother, and if we didn't resolve the communication issue, then all contact would be ended until her parents made contact with us and we make a plan for the next few months, including DNA, and then birth arrangements. Said that if the baby is his, we will travel there for the birth and first few weeks after. He told her that I personally think it probably is his baby, but I want to be sure and make sure everything is done right from the start. Well, Bree blocked him with a reply, and he is totally heartbroken, not eating, sitting in his room all day and night, not mad at me surprisingly. Very, very sorry for him and to us, sad about it all, and I think regretful. He even asked me if there was a way to undo it for himself. I haven't talked about signing over rights, a male termination his father called it, because I think he's just upset right now. A mutual friend of Bree and Ollie's here in our hometown showed him a few posts she has made in the last 24 hours. Things like, "It's you and me against the world, baby girl," and memes about deadbeat dads. She also announced the pregnancy, which she hadn't done yet, and the post had some single mother facts and quotes. Ollie's friends knew about the situation, and a few were under the impression he had dumped her and the baby going by the posts. But when he explained that what had happened, they all rallied for him in the comments. I said not to, and now she's blocked them, and we can't see what she has posted. This is just a nightmare. I have had a plan personally, not set but something I wanted to talk to her parents about, but I don't even want to waste my time at this point. Ollie gave us Bree's parents' email address to send an email to with said plan. Basically, Bree does DNA blood test. We will pay the full $1,500 for it. If it is his baby, we can book flights and plan to be there for the first month. I'll stay too with Ollie, maybe even the whole family, and then we can also work on a parenting plan and getting into mediation for a judge to sign off on it. Ollie's father and I split for the first 7 months of his life, so we have done this before and we know the process. But at this point I think I will just leave it to settle before sending an email. Update 3, 4 days later. Ollie's friend was able to see her Instagram through an old account, different email. I don't use Instagram enough to know what that means, but it meant they weren't blocked when they reactivated. They found the pregnancy announcement post, and if you scrolled across it showed a digital copy of the scan Bree sent us as a 16-week scan, apparently the first scan she had at the OB. That is dated 0404 and clearly says GA19 plus 3 weeks, making an August due date I believe or very early September. This would not line up with the due date given to us, but does line up with when her parents told me she was pregnant mid-April. They told us, "We've had the pregnancy confirmed," and sent a photo of the printed pic which the date isn't on there. I actually think it may have been cut off the top. I haven't told Ollie this yet because I want to be sure. I am very concerned about his mental health at the moment and taking that into consideration. But unless she gave the wrong period dates and the baby measured only 16 weeks, then it's not possible for it to be our son's. Also added information, her due date from what we know is September 22nd. She was here from December 20th to January 7th and saw Ollie December 21st and 22nd and January 4th and 5th. Never overnight. I asked Ollie when did this happen, and he said January 4th was the only time, which makes more sense as they were in a public gathering otherwise. They were at a mutual friend's birthday that night but never stayed overnight. I have had 5 kids and I know the dates are too close to figure it out that way. Ollie also said that the joke Bree made was to just see if it happens. The pregnancy, because then it's obviously meant to be and he would be able to move. To me it sounds like she had the plan a lot longer, but I may be biased here. Update 4, 12 days later. I spoke to Bree's biological father, lives in this town, who had no idea about any of this. Before you come for me, there was no known DV or anything. I felt I had run out of options at this point and I just wanted a way to contact them. Bree's mother then made contact, agreed to the blood test if we paid for it. Ollie and Bree spoke again and Bree asked to come here for a holiday and have an ultrasound with him to prove dates in person. I agreed to this, but I may not be thinking straight with the stress we have all been under. She says she is 26 weeks, sent him a photo of her belly, which has grown, and told him there is no other option but him to be the father, that the ultrasound had to go by her last period date and she didn't remember, so she went by her app and it was the period before. That's why the dates are out on the scan. I asked if she had a physical booklet of pregnancy notes or something because I know from experience that they have all the confirmed information on them, but she said everything is digital with her doctor. I didn't want to push because it's not my medical info. I'm wondering if I do just fly her out here on my own terms. Her mother agreed, and do the blood and ultrasound here and put an end to it all. Update 5, 10 days later. We all came to a travel arrangement. We paid for Bree to fly out and her father was paying for the ticket home. Bree was supposed to fly to us this morning and stay for 6 weeks total, flying back sometime in August. Her father's in charge of that flight. She was staying with us over these next few weeks while we do our annual July 4th family vacation for a week and then a couple more weeks back here at home for the ultrasound and blood test. This was decided together, both families, because Bree and Ollie would like to have some kind of positive experience and memories during the pregnancy, and obviously if baby wasn't his, Bree would be taken to her father's, and we would be finished with it all. But she never turned up for her flight. She texted the night before that the doctor did not recommend she should not travel as she is at risk of preterm labor due to her age and her severe morning sickness makes her only be able to tolerate pineapple juice, so she is needing to be hospitalized and maybe even deliver early. This is on top of a group photo that included Bree, obviously pregnant in a tight tee, hugging the boy she was dating in her new town, his hand on her belly. It was quickly removed from her story when Ollie asked. I think it was intentional to make him jealous. I am done. I do not believe her or her parents. I have contacted a lawyer and therapist. I will not be updating again until I know the outcome of the DNA test that I assume will not be done until after the baby is born since I was told today I cannot force her to have it while pregnant. If this baby is Ollie's and my grandchild, I'm willing to move Bree here and have her live with us. It has no chance and will continue to ruin my son's life from afar. Update 6, 18 days later? I didn't plan on updating prior to the DNA test, but I can confidently say we do not need it to know the truth. We will likely still do one if Bree sticks to her story. Only I will go through the courts at this point. We have a family lawyer and he has advised these updates are fine as long as I do not identify anyone by name, location etc. I had a lot of helpful messages on here, and I do read them all even if I don't reply. One was from a radiographer who suggested that I look at the measurements of the baby on the ultrasound if I am able to get scan pictures, and then use that to calculate if the baby was 16 weeks on that scan. I have kept that idea in mind if I ever got the chance to see the scan myself. The same Redditor also raised concerns that she only had this one scan at 16 weeks and there wasn't a 20-week scan again 4 weeks later. All OBs would do a scan at 18 to 22 weeks. The one photo we have seen is a photo of a scan, a profile shot of the baby's face at 16 weeks, and there hasn't been another scan since then. We have been playing it safe and being very careful with how we tread around Bree, not wanting to cause any arguments. We have not mentioned this to them yet, and if by chance someone tells them via this post or they know about this post, we don't care. We have nothing to lose since the baby is in Ollie's, and this is how I know. Bree and Ollie have many mutual friends, but only one other girl, Hannah, who is still friends with both of them from within the group. Hannah believes Ollie is the father because that's what Bree says, but she had a falling out with Bree this week. It led to her talking to Ollie, and then she sent Ollie a video that Bree sent her after the ultrasound in April. Prior to this, Bree had told her not to show him because he wasn't going to be in the baby's life by choice and all the things she was posting about deadbeat dads. The video shows multiple measurements being done and I was able to see clearly that the baby measured 19 weeks and that scan was the 20-week scan. There is no way that baby is Ollie's baby. She is due August 26th. Ollie knows all of this and is doing okay. Very angry, but he has the support he needs. What happens now we don't know, but we know the truth. All we can do is speculate as to why my son was the target of this plan. I know we will likely never know the truth. To clear some things up, I will not be taking this up with Bree and her family until after the baby is born. I am not concerned about the DNA test results but will still do one. In the video the OB or nurse, whoever it was doing the scan, says, "So your due date is August 26th, which lines up perfect for your last period." So I know that's the due date and you can clearly see the numbers on screen showing the measurements are 18 to 19 weeks. Ollie cannot be the father. She wasn't even in the state. There is plenty of other more detailed clues I have but will not post. I think the father is the boyfriend in that town, but what I don't understand is why Ollie was better. Yes, there is more money, but we aren't rich. We just live smart. Thanks for the support. Update 7, almost 2 months later. We have a baby. Last update. Baby K was born September 1, 2025. 8 pounds 4 ounces. She was induced for being post-due date. Ollie visited a few hours after the birth with me. Her mother and sister were there when we asked to visit, but were gone when we got there. The whiteboard on the wall that had all the birth details also stated her EDD 0826. Ollie didn't say much. He's very receptive to the fact the baby is most likely not his and still in therapy, but I think he loves Bree and I'm not sure how to navigate that. Ollie went down to the cafe to get her something to eat as her mother had apparently forgotten to bring food. Since it was just us, I took my chance. I asked her about the EDD on the board, nicely. I told her no one is upset with her. I too am wary about the possibility that the home situation is unsafe, and she may be trying to escape. I told her Ollie knows already, he has for months. He's not angry, he is worried, and even knowing she lied, he wanted to come here and be with her and the baby. I told her what I know to be the truth as his mother. There was nothing Bree could do that would keep him angry enough to cut her off. She broke. I think it was the fact she was so tired and had just had a baby, the hormones and probably mental load that would come with her lies. I feel a little bad, but I'm glad I asked. Bree admitted to me she knows it's not possible and she was very, very sorry. She wanted to move back to our city. She didn't want to live with her mother and stepfather anymore. In fact, she never wanted to leave, and her dad had said no, she couldn't live with him. The pregnancy was never planned originally, but she came up with the idea herself when she found out they were coming back for the holidays. I asked who the baby's father was and she never got to give me an answer, but I think it's the boy from her town. I had asked that directly, and she shrugged, but no confirmation as Ollie came back and she shut down again. I told Ollie that Bree had made a mistake, and she was sorry, and Ollie said he knew, and it was okay, that the baby was cute regardless, which I laughed at the ridiculousness that is my life, what a childish thing to say. I didn't ask her about her mother knowing or anything. I was cautious not to set her usual defensiveness off. We left not long after and Ollie and Bree are still talking via text. Ollie right now has asked me not to ask for the DNA as Bree is struggling with her own mental health, like most of us do with that hormone shift. That's all I have to update on. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. In your last post you mentioned you'd still do a DNA test for clarity of mind. Is that still in the plans after her confession? And I assume you managed to get last-minute plane tickets to get there a few hours after her birth, or you took a super long drive? Being a parent is never an easy job, not even when they've grown up. You're doing good supporting and protecting your son. Take care. Ops response. We knew her induction date and flew out 2 days prior. I'm not sure on the DNA stuff right now. Ollie wants to leave it as long as she tells everyone it wasn't his baby. For now I am just letting things be. I think she is really struggling. Is there any chance that the child could be the stepdad's? OP, a lot of people say this and no, we do not believe that to be the case. There is a lot of evidence that the baby is the other ex-boyfriend's, so I don't think so. I was told he can't have more children, had the procedure, but I do believe she's trying to escape the house and return to her father because someone in the house may be a risk. I'm not commenting on that though. I've tried to avoid commenting at all, but I think too many people believe it could be something like that, and I do not believe the stepfather is a danger. My concern has been raised with others. Commenter 2. It might help to talk to Ollie about love. We often sit our foster kids down and talk to them about love. Because they have obvious trauma and confusion. If I really love my parents then I can't care about my foster parents or my foster family, etc. Ollie loves her. And that's okay. He's young and it's really hard for him because he feels like she is his soulmate. And that he will never love another person the way he loves her. This is true. The way we love someone is individual to that person. But love is not finite. Love is generous. We can love many people. We ask our foster kids to make a list of all the people they love. Like mom, dad, siblings, grandparents, friends, pets. We even encourage them to add things like internet people and sites, games, and toys. It's typically not hard to get them to make the list. Most of them are able to put together at least 10 things pretty quickly. Although we do give them the examples like mom, dad, pets, toys. Wow, look at how much love you have. This leads to complex conversations because of situations that create foster kids. But for Ollie, this leads to the conversation that the love he has for the different things on his list are different. It's possible that he may even be able to differentiate between the way he loves his dad and the way he loves his mom. I love the way mom or dad does this for me, things like teaching him how to dunk a basketball or hugs or caring for him when he's sick. Talk to him about how now he loves Bob, his best friend, but how his best friend used to be Adam. Does he still love Adam? He may still, but talk to him about how maybe that love has changed over time. Siblings and cousins are also good. When your little sibling was born, did that mean that you loved your older siblings less than before? Or did your love grow and you love your little sibling just as much as your older siblings? Encourage the conversation about his list and about his love and the way he loves different things on the list. Don't point out that there are differences between the way he loves some things and the way he loves her. This is not the time to point out that his love for her might be more hormonally and chemically driven than the love he has for other things. You need to emphasize that love expands. The love that he has for her is not the last love he'll ever have. It's okay if his love for her changes over time. It's okay to love her. You don't expect him to turn that off. But in your experience, you feel that his love for her will change over time. Don't refer to her as a crush. Because Ollie will fight that. Because a crush is different from love in his mind, and what he has is 100% true love in his mind. Too often teenagers who have never loved anyone romantically believe that the first person they love romantically is their true love or their soulmate, and they will never be able to love anyone the way they love that person. Which is true, the way you love someone is specific to every person. However, the fire of their first love is not the only fire they will ever experience in their entire life. I think it's just important to reassure him that this isn't his only chance. That there may be another love out there for him. It's okay to love her, but also in the future to love someone else. As he gets older and as time separates him from this situation, there's plenty of opportunities to talk to him about the difference between lust and love. And that true love is built on more than just the chemical rush. Good luck. I feel like you've done a really nice job of handling this situation so far. Ollie is really lucky to have you. Commenter 3, it's definitely a blessing as a teen mom to be post-induced rather than an early induction due to her age. I hope everyone is doing well. Especially your son. I can't imagine how he could be feeling even if he is still contacting Bree. Big props to you, Mom, for doing your best at staying steady throughout this whole situation. I will say though, it'd be best for the child to know who their father is. Not that that is any of your concern at this moment since the timing and everything and knowing it's not Ollie's child. But I hope Bree and her parents make it a priority to assure the child has a knowing of their bio dad. I've seen some stories or cases where that's not the case and it's a sad outcome in every way. Update 8, 1 month later. Bree and baby didn't do their test until last week. There were a few excuses, but honestly most were reasonable. One being that the other boy refused to come and do a test as well. I found out that he, 17, already has a child with another girl in that town who he also refused to do a test for. That other girl was contacted by Bree and willing to DNA her baby, who is only 5 months old, to see if they are siblings. Our DNA test came back as expected yesterday. Ollie is not the father. We don't know about the other results, if they are back or if they were positive, or if they were even done. Ollie and Bree have drifted since last month. He is focusing on school and sports, has a new girlfriend, which we did not appreciate at first. He had hidden it until his therapist spoke to us all about it. He showed his friends the test results in hopes it would get back to their parents too, but it seems his reputation has been tainted regardless. Bree moved out of home 3 weeks after baby was born, unsure where to exactly, but she's living with a friend and her mom in her town. Her mother and stepfather kicked her out apparently, and her bio father does not have stable housing for children. What a nightmare this has been. Ollie turned 16 this month and I'm hoping this is all behind us now for good. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, who did she put as the father on the birth certificate? Ops response, I don't believe anyone. It wasn't Ollie. Commenter 2, your son is incredibly lucky to have had you stand up for him as you have through this whole ordeal. But I also feel really bad for the young lady, going through all of this without parental support, feeling like she had no options other than helping your son set up this whole contrived situation. Her life is going to be that much more difficult moving forward. The whole situation sucks, but I'm grateful your son won't be carrying the burden of it. Commenter 3, I hope life settles for all involved. What a wild journey your family has been through. I feel bad for all the children involved. I really wonder about Bree. Is her home life absolutely terrible? How sad for her to feel the need to leave with a newborn baby.